Hi guys, I'm Tracy. Thank you for joining me today. Obviously, I'm a little sick today, so excuse my energy level and my voice, but I wanted to get a little video up of the Sonia G Hinoki limited edition brush set. I just got this last night. I've just used this once, and let me go over the little one. So the little one is to me, very unique. I don't see this shaped brush much at all. And the only brush that it kind of reminds me of is like a larger Fenty cat paw brush, which I've been recommended to get a few times. It's like for concealer, but it's a little bit smaller than this. But it's meant to, pat concealer on here. That's the only thing I can kind of think of that this resembles. But it's very unique. It's very different. And then the small, well, they both came with this little plastic thing, and I'll show you guys up close the art on there. It's very beautiful. I really do love the aesthetic of this brush set. So it says Sonia G. It's got the cranes, and it has made in Japan. And they're pretty lightweight. These aren't heavy brushes, especially this one's very light. Her regular lines are heavier, so it's going to be lighter than her fusion brushes. And I have some b-roll of me using the little one to powder the under eyes, and I did a really nice job. It will kind of heavily powder wherever you use this brush. And I would pat with this just because, for this area, if you just put concealer down, I think it might disrupt what you have on. So, yeah, just to be safe, I would pat. And like when I'm looking in the mirror, the areas that I powdered are very matte. So just be careful, because if I went in with a little bit more, I think it would look really dry in this area, but it's okay for now. And then I have not used the larger one yet. I'm going to do that right now with bronzer and blush. But this one is a little bit, if anything, it reminds me, I feel like I have other brushes that are kind of this shape, a longer, somewhat domed, pinched shape. The thing that makes it different is this ferrule. It kind of, comes up here, which I think makes it even more narrow here and makes it flare up a little bit more here. But it's a very beautiful brush. It is unique, but I wouldn't say like so much different like the other one. And the hairs are something I noticed, the hairs are very white. They're almost like bleached. You can see that. And they're very soft. They don't feel like other brushes that I've had. My daughter was playing with this, and she was doing that, and she said it feels like a bunny tail. So that's how soft you can expect this brush to feel. So my throat is actually killing me today, but I'm gonna use the Chantecaille bronzer, see how it works out with a big gelée formula. So it does pick that up, and I figured it would. And see how this works for this is a pretty, to me, pretty pigmented bronzer. So it really heavily put that on there. I really like how that came out. And just to see how it works with a different kind of formula, I'm going to try it with the LYS, and this is a pressed powder formula. Just see how this one comes out. Oh, that one. Oh, if it's just the way my face is. I feel like it kind of went on this side a little patchy. Like it didn't blend as well with the LYS formula. I can kind of see that. So let me try this with blush, see how that works. I'll take off as much as I can. I'm gonna pick something that's not so pigmented just because this brush is gonna pick up a lot, I can tell. So I'm gonna try the melting blush from Suku. And this powder formula is pretty easy to pick up as well. And let me see if I'm gonna pat, see how that comes out. So yeah, that put that on really, really nicely. I feel like it did a good job at like kind of like contouring with the bronzer. I think it'll be good for that. And it did the blush really beautifully. Something I'm noticing when I'm applying my powder products, the finish is very matte. Now this blush is more on the matte side, but I feel like when I use another brush, it doesn't look quite this stark. I don't know if you could really tell. It looks a little luminous when on camera, but in real life it's completely matte. Let me try another brush. I'll try with the Hokuto GC2. So I feel this made the application look a little bit smoother. Still pretty matte, but a little bit smoother. This is gray squirrel hair, so it's gonna tend to apply lighter, and it will tend to give a little bit of a sheen. Not always, but sometimes. Okay. Now what else? I know she said this would be good for powder and highlighter and contouring. For me personally, this is just too small for me to contour. I prefer a larger brush. Like I even contour with a big brush like this Bisotto BP2. I just feel like when you use a bigger brush, the results are more subtle and more natural. If you do prefer a more like chiseled look, I think you might like this, but it is going to heavily apply a powder product, and these hairs are so soft. I don't think a cream formula would be good for these. I just feel like these hairs are like pretty fragile, and it's shedding a little bit because I haven't washed them yet. All right, so I did want to make sure I got something up featuring these two brushes. And so initially I was very taken by the looks of this. I really like the combination of the light wood with the matte black ferrule and the white hairs. I was actually in communication with Toshia from Fude Japan to do a custom Takeda brush. It looks kind of like this, with a maple handle, a black matte ferrule, and squirrel hair. So of course that would cost a lot more than these, but I feel like, you know, I don't need to do that anymore. So because I have these, I really do think the thoughtfulness of the way these look is genius, and I highly recommend them, just so that you don't do what I did and what a lot of other people do. They came in brush guards. I actually ripped the one that this one came in because it came in a brush guard, and when I took it out, the hair started snagging and getting pulled down. I was able to fix it, but I know some people's got really snagged right here. So when you get this brush, I would cut the brush guard off. You know, don't worry about it. You can get another one. You can't easily get another one of these. So this one was no problem. I took it out. So if you have a brush guard, just in case you haven't done this, so let's say it's, you know, brush guard like that, definitely pull it out this way, because if you push it out of the brush guard and it was packaged the way it was, you know, you're gonna risk damaging the brush. So with this one was fine, but with this one, just take my advice and cut the brush guard off or rip it off. That's what I did. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know. But they're very beautiful, and I highly recommend them. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll feel better next time. All right, bye.